Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Command Your Confidence. My name is Robert. I'm your host here, and today we're going to talk about indirect versus direct approach when it comes to talking with women in public places or in bars, wherever it might be. I'm bringing this subject up for a reason because I'm going to tell you at the end why I'm talking about this. But so before we go into the show, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I do a lot of great content here that's meant to help you guys level up in life. And I got a live show coming up this Sunday with Afi Kingdom at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And that would be about 5 p.m. Eastern time. So you don't want to miss out on that. So what is better, direct or indirect? Going when you're starting to have a conversation with a woman in a public place, because I have done both of those, type of approaches when going out there and just kind of socializing with women and working on striking up a conversation, building a connection, and getting a phone number to get a date. And I realize, both have their pluses and their minuses, and so I figured I'd just go in and talk about that today. And so, what is a direct approach? Okay, so a direct approach is pretty much when you open up a girl and you're just kind of upfront as to why you're there instead of like not, kind of beating around the bush. You're pretty much, if you see her, you go up and you talk to her and you say, "Hey, I'm here because I thought you were cute and I'd like to get your number. My name's Rob, blah, blah, blah." So that would be like an example of a direct approach. And then another type of approach would be an indirect approach. When an indirect approach is when you go up and start a conversation with a woman and you just kind of like ask an open-ended question, make an observation about what is going on in the environment around you. And then kind of towards the end of the conversation, you go for a number close. So those are the two types of approaches. So what are the pros and cons? Well, what I've found out through my experiences, some of the pros from being direct is that, kind of saves you time and energy when you're talking to a girl. So if like you're really, got a lot going on and you just kind of got to get through the day, I mean, you can just be direct, and that way you don't have to have a conversation and you can keep it really short. Another pro is like you're kind of being clear with the woman as to what it is you want, rather than waiting until the end of the conversation to let her know what it is you want. Also, like, I don't know, it kind of being more direct, it's more authentic, like, because I'm not like trying to, you know, work up the courage to ask this girl out for a date or get a number. Now, and in some of the pros, so those are just some of the pros. Some of the cons that I've seen from that, sometimes people are, some of the girls are just not used to, I guess guys being upfront with them. So I mean that happens, and they're just like, whoa, they pause for a second, but it's all good. And then sometimes I think when you do a direct approach, if you're looking to get out of the interaction quickly, you don't get a chance to have that conversation with the lady and kind of build a connection before closing. But I guess I've done it before where I've been direct with a girl and kind of had a conversation. But sometimes when I'd have that conversation after being direct with a girl, the girl would say she has a boyfriend, or she's just not interested. So that's, you could do it that way. So I guess like when you're indirect, I don't know, some of the pros, I guess, is you can have a chance to like kind of build an interaction and have a bigger, like a conversation with the lady and just kind of get to know her. But at the same time, though, depending on how your vibe is and the type of questions you are asking her, it might, I know you might not be congruent with, I mean, she might know like you're nervous if you're, just kind of stuttering and trying to string on asking questions. And sometimes too, like, from what I've noticed, just by being, making an observation opener, or just like saying something about, what I noticed about her or the environment around me, and having a conversation, I'd end up getting into like longer, I'd say like 5 to 10 minute conversations. And yes, sometimes I would get a number doing that, which was cool because it gives you a chance to kind of, get that, the feeling, get to kind of get the feeling for what the girl's like. And it gives you a chance to show the girl what you're like when you're kind of having a longer, lengthy conversation. And you can do this when you're being direct, you can do this too. But sometimes, like, when you're, I guess, when you're doing the more observational one and not letting her know right off the bat why you're there, like, it's just kind of like, and she might not be interested, and then it can just be a waste of your time, and therefore, like, you just wasted 10 minutes interacting with a girl who wasn't interested. But one of the things about this kind of going in, being indirect, like I said, is this: you get a chance to like show your personality. You get a chance to see what she is like and get a feel for how she is. You can pretty much gauge, like, I notice, like, pretty much when you go like the indirect route, sometimes it'd be open ended. When you're talking with her, you can pretty much calibrate, well, whether or not she's interested in you or not. And then you can like leave the interaction if, like, you notice, like, she's not feeling you or you're not feeling her. But yeah, each has its pluses and minuses. I don't know, like, I kind of think that I like to take the more authentic approach and just tell the girl why I'm there. And I mean, I got so much going on in my life right now that I can't, really have time for any big interactions, but can continue an interaction with the girl later on, compared to, like, if I was going to go indirect and just have a longer, lengthier discussion with the girl. But I kind of like, when I see a girl now, my thing is, I just kind of let her know why I'm, there talking to her, rather than just kind of like be like a wimp about it and not tell her that, because I think it shows, like, it shows confidence, and it shows that, hey, you're a guy who knows what he wants. And even when you can still go the indirect route, and then, let her know your intentions later. But I think by being up front right away, you kind of can, you clear the dust and everything, and you see where things are going to go. I mean, and you can apply these same principles on these dating apps when you're socializing with the ladies on the dating apps. Like, you can just be up, because sometimes you may be talking with a lot of girls and you get really busy, and you just got to sometimes just be up front. And what I noticed, though, like, I mean, I've been up front with some of the girls. I've had some conversations on the apps, and then I'm just like, right after like coupled, like maybe one or two messages, I just like go for a close and get her off the app and onto the phone. And I've kind of seen, by just kind of being direct right away and doing that, like, if a girl's really interested in you, she's actually going to give you her number, and you can tell the girl to call you, and have her send a selfie when she shoots you the text. But if they do that right away, I've noticed from my experiences, that's normally a sign that I'm going to go out on a date. Whereas if I'm direct and, a girl's not complying with me, I know, okay, well, I'm not going to, if she gives me an excuse like, well, I don't know you, or I don't talk on the phone. Okay, well, I know, I don't need to waste my time with that person. And, I just remember, like, when I was first started doing on the dating apps, like, I'd always, instead of like telling her right off the bat, that I thought she was cute, or, sexy, or whatever it was, and I was just like chit chatting away and just trying to be funny on these dating apps. And, I found, yeah, I would get a number, but, I'd be wasting all my time just chatting with a girl on a dating app when I could be doing something else. I realized that when you got a lot going on, you got to, kind of keep things like simple for yourself. So, kind of just being more direct, saves you the time. It kind of lets you know whether or not that person is interested in you or not. And then if they're not, you can just float on to the next girl. So, anyways, the reason why I'm doing this show is because I was talking with, I was did a stream with a sophisticated man about I think it was like a week or two ago. And like I told him, like one of the things I wanted to experiment with, like I'm going to do this for like 1 week, is I'm going to do like some indirect approaches and direct approaches, and kind of see which ones worked the best for me. And then I'm going to come back on this, do another live show for about a week from now, and kind of talk to you about some of the results, share with you, I should say, my experiences, and share with you the results that I've gotten while doing this. So that was the reason why I just wanted to get on this short stream and just kind of do this short video about direct versus indirect approaches. So, because I'm going to do this social experiment, and then I'm going to share it with everything with you guys like next week, after I go through the experiment. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. And, be sure to like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We've got a lot of great content I'll be coming out with soon. And I'll see you guys next week. And remember, I got a show this Sunday at 2 p.m. with Afi Kingdom. We got another guest who's going to be on the show. We're going to talk about some of the mistakes guys make when it comes to women. So we look forward to having you all on the stream on Sunday. And until then, rock